You know, I didn't have to have 70 fights or 150 fights, 300 fights. Did I not beat the most world champions?
Yes, you did.
Okay. And in the least amount of fights?
Yes, you did.
Who got the highest gate?
Floyd Mayweather.
Who made the most money?
You did.
Who was the most accurate fighter of all time?
You were.
So it's basically saying that...
The greatest of all time.
Okay.
After shocking the world by beating Canelo Alvarez, Terence "Bud" Crawford aimed straight at Floyd Mayweather. He said, "I'll hurt your legacy. Not your record, not your money, but your legacy." And you know Floyd, he wasn't going to let that slide. He fired back in interviews, dismissed Bud's win, and reminded everyone why he calls himself the best ever. But this isn't just trash talk. This is about something much bigger. The fight for boxing's throne of legacy. Crawford owns the pound-for-pound crown right now, but Floyd has the unbeaten record. The pay-per-views, the fame. And for the first time, it feels like their legacies are colliding head-on.
Who do you think's better out of those two? Crawford or Mayweather?
I think Crawford is better, bigger. Like he's actually he moving weight class, and I would say Crawford is a better fight all around fighter. Mayweather is really good too, though. You can knock him as well. You know, he's very talented. It would have been a tough fight, but I think Crawford would have the edge over Mayweather because of the long arms and because it's bigger. You know what I'm saying? And he would have kept him at bay. It would have been hard for Mayweather to counter, maybe. But Mayweather's definitely a technician. I mean, like Crawford said, you know, Mayweather has his era, and Crawford, this is his era.
To see why Crawford said that, we have to go back to Las Vegas, September 13th. Crawford stepped into the ring against Canelo Alvarez to weight classes up, a huge size disadvantage, and most of the boxing world saying he had no chance. Yet over 12 rounds, but neutralized Canelo's power, landed the sharper shots, and became the first man ever to be undisputed in 3 weight divisions.
You know, you said something about what fighters go through, and you've seen enough guys that the game is taken from. It's a hard game to get through. Can you get a better ending than tonight? I mean, really?
Not at all. Not at all. This is the top of the top. You know, Canelo is, you know, an all-time great. Like I said before, he's the last one.
He was the A side of the age.
There's no more Canelos, you know.
So,
there's no more. So, you know, when you look around, you say, I'm the Canelo, you know, I'm the face of boxing now, and I'm the best pound-for-pound fighter in the world, like I always been. You know, just gotta wait and see.
That wasn't just a win, it was history. It was the kind of victory that changes conversations. Canelo couldn't keep up. Crawford's speed, his timing, his footwork too much.
Canelo couldn't really keep up with him. He was too fast. His footwork was too good.
Do you think the scores was right on, or do you think maybe it was a little more towards Bud?
What was the scorecards?
115, 113, 116, 112.
Yeah, that's about right.
Yeah?
I feel like Bud damn near basically went every round, so.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's about right. You can say that.
Now, with this accomplishment, Keyshawn, is he on the Mount Rushmore of
Hell
boxers?
yeah. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah?
3-time undisputed. He just beat Canelo.
Yeah.
The face of boxing, so now you can say Bud is the face of boxing.
Greatest of all time, or?
Greatest of all time.
Yeah.
I don't feel like it can never be one great, but he definitely one of the greatest of all time, for sure.
And suddenly, fans weren't only saying Crawford is pound-for-pound #1. They started asking, is Bud actually greater than Floyd? That's where the tension started. Floyd built his brand on being untouchable, the man who never lost, the blueprint for boxing. But now, Crawford's achievements shine so bright that even Floyd's legacy is being questioned.
You're backed by arguably one of the greatest of all time, right? Okay.
Well, we want to know, in the least amount of fights, you know, I didn't have to have 70 fights or 150 fights, 300 fights. Did I not beat the most world champions?
Yes, you did.
Okay. And in the least amount of fights?
Yes, you did.
Who got the highest gate?
Floyd Mayweather.
Who made the most money?
You did.
Who was the most accurate fighter of all time?
You were.
So it's basically saying that...
The greatest of all time.
Okay.
All right.
That's why Crawford came out swinging with that line. I'll hurt your legacy. Because he knows he's not just beating fighters, he's challenging the story Floyd controlled for decades. Floyd always managed the narrative. He chose when to fight Pacquiao, when to fight De La Hoya, and face Canelo when he was still young. Floyd never left room for doubt. But Crawford is built different. He crushed Spence in his prime. He didn't fight a faded Canelo, he beat him at super middleweight, where Canelo was king. So Bud's message was clear.
You see all these fighters, they doing the shoulder roll, you see? I mean, yeah. And not knocking the guys that paved the way. And I want to come on record and say, I'm appreciative for guys like Sugar Ray Robinson and Muhammad Ali and Sugar Ray Leonard. So many guys that paved the way for me. But there's only one Floyd Mayweather. These fighters are not better than me. You look at the numbers, they say, oh, Canelo may end up beating more world champions than Floyd Mayweather. Wait, he should? With almost, 80 and 90 fights, he should? I beat more world champions than any fighter in history. I'm 50-0, but half of my fights was world title fights.
I take the risks he never took. And when fans compare legacies, that's what they'll remember.
Why were you so emotional afterward? Is it that you just realized everything that you achieved, the moment just hit you then?
Yeah, for sure. Like, it's just, the history, behind the sport is just everything that, I trained for my whole life. It all was, coming out that one night. That was all paying off. You have a lot of people that, adopted this narrative that Terence Crawford can't sell, Terence Crawford is not marketable, and they push the narrative to the public, and that's all people write about. Oh, Terence Crawford can't do this, Terence Crawford can't do that. But anyone in Terence Crawford fights, you see a sold out crowd, but they wasn't talking about that. They was talking about how, marketable I'm not, and that kind of was hurting my career because, a lot of people was looking at me and said, oh yeah, they said he's not marketable. Oh, they said he's not, don't have a personality, things like that, because I didn't want to do things their way. I didn't want to put on a show. I didn't want to disrespect my opponents when they wasn't disrespecting me.
Right.
I wasn't, I'm not a guy that, wear jewelry for no reason. Just the things that I didn't want to do that they wanted me to do. They go out there and say, oh, well, they lost money on me. It's just crazy though to see me headline, not one of the largest attending fight in American history. In American history.
For Crawford, legacy isn't about being undefeated. It's about who you fought, when you fought them, and how you fought them. That's why he believes he threatens Floyd's throne. And of course, Floyd couldn't stay quiet. In classic Money Mayweather fashion, he downplayed Crawford's win. He said Canelo wasn't that good.
At the end of the day, I'll let you know. There's no fighter that will ever be better than me. There's no fighter that wasn't better than me before me or after me or when I'm long gone. I'm the best.
It's wild, because if you look at Floyd's resume, it's much deeper than Crawford's. And Floyd was faster and he had a better defense and all that stuff. But Floyd picked and chose when he fought guys, especially once he left lightweight. He wiped out the junior lights, bring him. Lightweight, he jumps up to Jose Luis Castillo first thing. A lot of people think he lost the first fight, I didn't, but then he won the rematch. But once he left lightweight, he was careful about when he fought guys. So even though his resume is deeper with names, people remember, yeah, but he didn't want it with certain dudes at certain times. Crawford, we all witnessed, even though the resume is thin in certain ways, he wanted it with everyone the whole time.
Oh, yes.
That makes a difference to people.
That Bud's resume doesn't stack up, and that beating 1 or 2 names doesn't make you TBE. He reminded everyone of his 50-0 record, the biggest paydays ever, and the fact that nobody solved him inside the ring. To Floyd, Crawford isn't rewriting history, he's standing on Floyd's shoulders. And Floyd hit him with the harshest line. When people talk about greatness, they talk about me. Period. In other words, but can't damage something that's already untouchable. Floyd's saying, you can't erase the king, you can only copy him. This is the debate now.
To be honest, when I set my sights on doing something and I know what I'm capable of, it's not like a surprise to me. It's a surprise to y'all because y'all didn't believe me, you know? But for me, I knew I could do it and I believed that I could do it. I just needed the opportunity.
Terence, when did you know that you were going to beat him? Over here on your left.
When he signed the contract.
He seemed to focus mostly on body punches, and you were hitting him in the head a lot. Was it your reach that gave you the advantage?
It was everything. You know, he wasn't hitting the body or anything. He was hitting my elbow because I was blocking it. But, you know, I think I was the better man tonight.
Saw you before the fight, the Crawford-Canelo fight, and you had a Cavs hat on. This time you've got a GOAT hat on. Is that how you're feeling? I know it says Muhammad Ali, but is that how you're feeling about Bud's performance, about his whole career?
Yeah, I'm definitely feeling that way, man. The GOAT. Greatest of all time, man. You gotta give it to him. You gotta give it to him. You gotta give it to his coaches. Not just me, Saul Red, Bernie, Chet, nutritionists, you know, everybody played a part.
Canelo said he's way better than Mayweather. What do you think to that?
Who, Terence?
Yeah.
Oh, of course. Of course he is.
Floyd's legacy is built on perfection: 50 wins, 0 losses, never knocked down. Victories over legends, pay-per-view dominance, and turning boxing into $1 billion empire. Crawford's legacy is built on daring to be great. 3-time undisputed champion, 5 divisions, beating Spence, and then Canelo back-to-back at 38 years old. He's showing zero fear, only dominance. Floyd will always say, I was the...
They were saying that if he beats Canelo, it could put him as even the greatest of all time. What does that put him in the all-time list, man?
At least top 10.
At least
top 10 or top 15, easily, you know? There's guys that we may not know of or heard of, like Henry Armstrong. Simultaneously, he was 3 divisions carrying all 3 weight divisions at the same time.
Which performance was better? I don't like to compare them, but Crawford or Mayweather's over Canelo. Like it's just different.
It's just different styles, different looks, you know. But the punching, the output that he was giving Canelo, definitely gave him the win.
Smartest. Crawford will always say, I was the bravest. And that's why Crawford's comment hit so hard. Because it attacked the one thing Floyd values more than money: his place in history. Here's the truth: Floyd doesn't clap back like this unless he feels threatened. And right now, he does. Because Crawford isn't just winning fights, he's winning fans. He's the new pound-for-pound king. He's the man who beat Canelo when no one believed it was possible. And now, younger fighters, legends, and analysts are calling him the greatest. What do you think? Who owns the throne? Drop your thoughts in the comments, hit like, and subscribe to Fight Field for more.